What it do, Big Blue? Back with the second episode, boys. It's the Big Blue Prophet with my right hand man, Kyle. I'm
Yes,
sure
sir.
Kentucky
What's
fans
going on,
are,
brother?
I think we're a little sad after what happened Saturday. I think that's what's happening.
Yeah. I mean, it was tough. It was tough. So I do got to ask, though. You being down there, how was the atmosphere down there? That was the home opener, right?
Yeah, it was. I didn't get to go to the game, but from what I've seen and, out and about, before that game, you would see, honestly, you'd see people with football shirts, football that, you know what I mean? I swear to God, I haven't seen one football shirt since Saturday. And that just could be me not looking or something like that, but I haven't seen, I think people are just tired of it. It's just, the thing that got me
Yeah.
was when the quarterback looked over at the sideline, and Topher will have to bleep this out, and you read his lips, and he goes, "What the are we doing?"
Yeah.
That
No.
sums it up.
Listen, I got to ask you because I got my own opinion on it. Is what are your true feelings on Calzada as a quarterback?
I think he's garbage so far.
Okay. All right. So we're aligned. I think he may be one of the worst college quarterbacks I've seen in a very long time. Now, having said
Yes,
that, I do think he's athletic. I think Stoops and that whole situation could be the issue, right? I think
yeah,
it's more of a Stoops issue than him, but he's not being put in a good situation at all because you
no,
got McGowan, who's a stud. McGowan is an absolute stud. Even Dowdle is a stud. You got a
yes,
couple stud, running backs there. So you have a good offense. And look, I know it's Kentucky and they're not traditionally a powerhouse in football, like back in the early, like late 40s, early 50s, and the 1900s. Like the long time ago, they were playing in the Sugar Bowl and shit like that. But like it's still an SEC school, so the
yes.
offensive line is still like a D1 starting offensive line in the SEC. So they are good enough, and I just the play calling is just it's weak, man. It's weak, and
It's
and I don't
horrible.
understand it at all.
It's horrible. And so I went and got my hair cut today. And when you go out, you either see, Loserville or a Kentucky sticker on somebody's something somewhere. So that's the first thing I ask. You're a Kentucky fan? Yeah, my daughter goes there, blah, 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 blah. Shout out Great Clips in Shepherdsville. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, no, no, nobody is supporting Stoops at this point. And the fact that and then she started going over the ticket prices that they raised up. I get it, NIL, whatever. So student tickets ain't free no more. You got to pay, I think it's $20. Parent tickets, they were, I think she said like 10 or $15. Now you got to pay 30. And then I read something before the season that the season tickets went up like 30% or something. If
Mm.
you do that with the mediocre coaching that we have, you're going to lose people and put us in a hole when it comes to this NIL more than anything. I
Yep.
feel like, I mean, you're
Yep.
just digging us a hole.
Yeah. And here's the thing. So he's obviously on the hot seat. He was on the hot seat last year, so he's definitely on the hot seat this year. He makes an annual salary of around 9 million. I think last year he took home like 9.4 million, something like that. His buyout is 40 million for Kentucky. Now look, 40 million is a lot of money for people like us, but for Kentucky, that's a drop in the bucket for them. So
Yep.
I honestly think unless he turns it around and they get at least 7 wins this year, I think 6 wins or less, he's gone. They're buying him out and they're bringing somebody new in.
They have to. I think even if he gets 7 wins, you almost have to let him go at this point. It is stale.
Yeah,
It is to the point where Cal was. Same old, same old, same old. First round exit, second round exit, no champ, nothing. Obviously we don't want champion. I mean, we would love championships, but as a Kentucky fan, we don't we don't have that
yeah.
expectation. There's just but a bowl game,
You need a
a
bowl
bowl,
win. Yeah,
yeah, a
you need a
bowl,
bowl win.
and or beat Louisville, and then you want to beat a couple SEC teams to solidify. Hey, we're not horrible, but we're not the best. You know what I mean? Like we're not the best, but we're not horrible.
Yeah,
We're nothing to overthink. But after Ole Miss, people are going to come in and just be like, "Hey, we got them. Whatever." You know what I mean? Like
yeah, and
it's.
it's a shame because with beating them last year, I felt good about it.
I did
Like
too.
I thought, and watching it, like they got up to a 10-0 lead, and I was like, all right, well, they're coming out to play, and the offense just sputtered. I mean, the defense had two quick interceptions. That's what led them to the 10-point lead. And I was like,
Yep.
all right, well, if the defense keeps playing like that, but that quarterback on Ole Miss, man, the lefty, he's I forget his last name, I forget how to pronounce it, but he's a good quarterback. He's a
Yes.
solid quarterback, and they did their best to maintain to contain him, but they couldn't maintain it the whole game. You know?
No. And I think the defense tried the hardest, honestly. I mean, the
Yeah,
running
yeah,
backs
for sure.
missed, and you saw, they kept talking about get Law involved, get Law involved. If you have a wide receiver like Law who came from Bama, you know what I mean? Like he transferred from Bama to here. So obviously, he might not be the best thing there, but he's good enough to get a damn scholarship to Bama to play a year. You should be launching it to him. Find somebody that can throw it to him and drop it right into. He was so fast when they gave him the opportunity. And
Yep, yep.
what was it? I don't know what kind of play. I'm not good on the football terms, but Calzada hiked it, and like it was like a short route, but he ran like around the side, and then he took off. That was like the longest one he had, and that's ridiculous that we have to have such a 5-8 yard pass because our quarterback can't be trusted with a 10
Yep.
plus yard pass. Like at this
Yeah.
point, put Cutter Boley in. Like
I was going to suggest the same thing. I mean, it's a shame because Calzado has a solid arm. He could throw the ball, but he's not accurate and he makes bad decisions. And again, maybe he makes bad decisions because he feels like he's on the hot seat and he's constantly looking over his shoulder. I don't know. I don't know.
that could be it too. And I feel
So an interesting fact too is like no SEC football coach was fired last year. So it was the first year in probably 10 years, I think, where not one football coach was fired. So that means that they're due, right?
yep,
It's going to happen. So Stoops is probably at the top of that list to be canned, and be the first one on the chopping block. Now, you and I being Kentucky fans, they don't often do that midseason, right? They'll
no,
probably play out the season and do it at the end of the season. I would be shocked if they did it midseason unless they go on a slide here and
yes,
lose 3 or 4 straight, right? The fact that they won against Toledo and won the first game helped him because if they would have started 0-2, I could see them actually chopping
yeah,
him, right?
I do
But
too.
you know,
And I think we missed our opportunity. We should have got rid of him this past year because Tulane's coach, ex Kentucky player, look what he's changed Tulane into. Like great program
yeah,
there. And he's a what
yep,
is it, Summerall? I think John Summerall. I
yep,
think.
yep,
We
yeah.
should have canned Stoops and brought him in right then and there. Don't give Stoops another year to try to motivated Stoops. Come on, man. That was just a lie. And you hyped up, like you said, Calzada. It was just like last year. Vandergriff. Oh my God, he's going to be great when he comes in. Shit.
Yep,
Calzada.
yep,
Shit. I mean,
yep. It's a shame. It's a shame.
yeah.
So I do have to bring up. I'm also I have a soft spot for Florida State because they share similar helmets as my high school alma mater. They play the
Oh,
same fight song. They do all that. It pulls at my heartstrings. I got a soft spot for Florida State. I've always been a fan. And with them upsetting Alabama, how did that make you feel? Because I
I was
I
happy.
love me some Alabama losses, right? Any
Yes.
SEC team, I love when they lose outside of, obviously not Kentucky, but every other team,
Yep.
they can lose every day of the week.
Yep.
So seeing Alabama outside of having Nick Saban get beat and showing that he had a system there, it's clear he had a system there.
Yep.
And this coach, I can see this coach getting canned too,
Yep. And then,
because they have expectations at Alabama and he's not fulfilling them at all.
and what was it? I think it might have been. It was like the next day. It might have been on the Pat McAfee show. I think he got asked about it, and the look on his face of just disgust that's what he handed it over to it was great as a Kentucky fan, but I could feel his pain at somebody that put so much work into building that dynasty. He was like, all right, I retire it. Here you go. And now it's just Bama is a Kentucky. And obviously not as bad. Obviously not as bad, but they're falling down. I mean, and then look at Florida getting upset.
Yeah, how about that? How about that? I mean, they look like straight trash. And I have a buddy of mine that like we'll go back and forth because of the Florida State Florida rivalry. And I just like to needle him because of being a Kentucky fan, and then he'll throw it at me, during March Madness, and I hate Florida during basketball season, but that's another topic. But yeah, I was like, man, how's your high school team doing down there? They look pretty bad because I couldn't
It was,
believe that. Now, don't get me wrong, the team they played isn't a slouch, but there's no way Florida should have lost them. Florida looked like straight garbage.
yeah, they look like Calzada. That's just going to be my comparison
Yeah,
all year. When somebody's shit, I'm just going to say it's a Calzada. That's
yeah.
it. It's a
He
Calzada.
pulled a Calzada.
Yeah, he pulled a Calzada. I mean, man, and I can't even talk trash. Like you've seen my face. I haven't talked any trash. Yeah, I can't talk trash to Loserville. What am I going to say?
No.
Well, we beat you
Yeah.
last year. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to
Yep.
run all over us if we do not improve somewhere. I mean, the defense is mid to top. You know what I mean? Like, defense surprised me. What was his, Bryant? He hustled. You got
Yeah.
those two back to backs.
Yeah.
I
Oh
was
yeah.
like, okay, here we go. Let's go. I mean, I lost my voice. I was driving the truck on my way to a route, and I had it playing in the radio. I heard, oh, Bryant. And I was like, ah. And I got home that night, and I was like, she's like, what happened? I said, well, Kentucky played, and we lost. But the defense was great. The
Dude,
defense was
they
great.
were good interceptions too. Like they were
Yes.
athletic. They were good interceptions. He's gonna be playing on Sundays for sure.
Yeah, and I think another reason, I'm just bing, 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 but another reason I think we're horrible is Bush Hammond, or however you say it. That dude is an idiot. An idiot. I watched his post game interview, and, when they asked, what was it? I think it was a 4th and 9 or 3rd and 9, and they let Cutter Bowley run it. Like, and the dude,
Yeah.
he was like, well, on 3rd and 9. On 3rd and 9, we act like it's a 2nd and 9 because we're probably going with it on 4th. What? Did a college coach really just say that at
That's
Kentucky?
yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying, man. The play calling just it looked pedestrian, man. It looked like my alma mater for high school football, Coatesville, man. Like they're a very good high school team here in Pennsylvania, and the play calling that they had was much better than what I've seen out of Kentucky so far. And
That's
this is
bad.
a D1 SEC school. It's insane to me.
It's ridiculous. It's bad. I don't know a lot about football. Obviously, my forte is basketball. I'm trying to learn a lot more on the football side, but sometimes I wonder, is it Stoops? I know that the head coach does so much, but then he also has the offensive coordinator. How much is it to blame on him than it is to Stoops, or vice versa? Like, does he say, "Hey, I want to play this," and then Stoops is like, "No, we're playing." You know what I'm like? I don't know how that works.
So Stoops builds his staff though, right? So it's his vision that they all buy into. So like it's not like, when you're in the pros and when it was Belichick, Charlie Weiss and all those guys in New England for all those years. This is like Stoops' system that the offensive coordinator buys into. So yeah, he may be calling the plays, but Stoops puts the staff together. So ultimately it falls on Stoops, man. Especially
Okay.
when you're making almost 10 million a year. Like
Yeah.
you got to be the man that takes the fall for it at
Yeah.
10 million a year.
I mean, if you're, comes to my mind is if you're that on the hot seat, take less money and try to bring in somebody, a young assistant coach or somebody from, even if it's a G5, I think that's what they call them, right? G5 schools or whatever.
Yeah.
Bring a head coach from there that is just killing it. Bring him as something. You got to do something. You have to.
Yeah.
People, it's sickening here. It is because on Saturdays at Kentucky, you walk out and it's supposed to be, hey, it's just like basketball season. It's Kentucky football today. Let's go. Now it's
Right.
Kentucky football. I guess we'll watch. You don't want to go. You don't want to go out to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like my mom asked. You want to go out and watch the game? No, I don't, because there's a chance we could just get blown out, and then I gotta be the guy that walks out of a restaurant in all blue with my head down because we just got blown out. I don't. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
So I will say on a positive note, my capital gains succeeded on Saturday because uh, Kentucky did cover because Ole Miss was favored by 8.5. And they won 30-23, so they covered there, and the over under was 50.5, so the over hit at 53 points. So that was a nice little 2-leg parlay that my capital gains felt pretty happy
Nice.
about. So if there is a bright side, that is the bright side, right? We got to look for a little bit of silver lining, a little blue lining in this cloud for us.
Yep. And see, well, it must have just been in the air for us because that Bills game. There's a
Yeah,
the Buffalo Wildcats, as I call them, because there's so many Kentucky
there you
players.
go.
Man, let me tell you what. Let me just go ahead and put you into where I was. All right, I was watching it. What, it was 10 o'clock? Me and old lady sitting on the couch. I'm like, all right, they're getting blown out. It was what was it, a 6 leg parlay and or nine, whatever it was. And I'm like, they're getting blown out, And then they start rolling back, and then Keon Coleman catches that smack in the air football or touchdown pass. I was like, oh my god, I might have luck. And I was like, all right, well, then I started laying back and I started getting tired. Henry fumbled it. I was like, all right, well, they were doing good if I'm going to sleep, so I'll just put myself to sleep. And I lay back, I went to sleep, and I swear to God, as soon as that ball went through that upright, something in me just woke up. I looked down, and it was 41-40. She was laying on my chest. I jumped straight up, and she flew. I said, oh my God, we just won $500. $500. She goes, no, we didn't. I said, I swear to God, look at the DraftKings. She goes, oh my God, I can't believe this. We're going to have to buy Josh Allen jerseys. I said, well, I'm a Buffalo Bill now. That's all I needed. That's right there, Josh Allen believer. So the
That's
Buffalo
awesome.
Wildcats. That's what I'm going for.
There you go.
Yep.
Hey, anybody that helps and looks out for your capital gains, man, you gotta have a soft spot for, and you gotta cheer for them a little bit. You know what I mean? I knew going into that was going to be a hell of a game, but to your point, it was 40 to 25 with like 3:50 left in the game.
Yeah.
I thought it was over. A 15-point game. I was like, it's over. And then they came back, and Josh Allen helped me out when he scored that quarterback sneak touchdown, because I had him for anytime touchdown as the
I did
fifth leg
too.
of my parlay. So I was like, all right, I'll take it. I'll take it. You know,
Whatever.
because I had Derrick Henry to score two, and I had him to
Yep.
score one, and man, I thought I was like, is that really going to be? He's going to have like 11 touchdowns on the year, and this is going to be the only game he doesn't. You kidding me? And then when he got that, I was like, yeah, all right, I'm in. I'm in.
I did the
So
same thing. I was like, he usually at least scores one a game. That was my thought process. He's going to run it in at least
yep,
one. He's got to. There's no way he doesn't. Lamar's going to do it. He's going to do it. He's got to. And I can't. What was that?
yep.
2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, I picked 5 players to get touchdowns. All 5 hit. It was Henry, Lamar, Cook, Coleman, Allen, and then
That's
Bills to
awesome.
win. And by God, they did. So what about
That's
I guess we
crazy.
can
Yeah,
throw
I
out
mean,
what? Oh, sorry.
yeah. So no, what I was gonna bring up next was basketball. Kentucky
Yeah.
basketball, man. The early rankings that I looked at has them at number 9, so a top
Yep.
10 team in the early rankings,
I'll
and
take
I'm
it.
here for it. I'm here for it.
Yep. I'll take it.
Building off of last year, coming off that momentum. I mean, it looks like they're, as of right now, the projected starters has Jalen Lowe, Aberdeen, Otega Owe,
Oh,
Diabate, and then they got Jaden in there, JQ, as the number 5. So let's hope that comes to fruition and he's healthy enough to do that. But I think that's a very formidable starting 5, man. If that's really what they roll out there.
yeah. I think I've said it since everybody kept Pope's platoon. I think that he's going to go and bring back Pope a platoon. He has to at this point, and I'm a-okay with it because I know he'll coach. I know he will coach each team and not just say, "Okay, Carl Anthony Townsend, pass it to him. Here's passing it." No, he's gonna just like he called out Cooper Flag. I may fangirl over Pope a little bit, but the man can
I'm
coach.
with you. I'm with you.
The man
Yeah.
can coach. He knows
Yep.
basketball, and I love it. Like whenever I heard that interview, literally from that day when he said, "So Cooper Flag's gonna go to the ISO. He's gonna spin around. Way you come up, you grab the ball, and you take." And he called it second for second. I said, "This dude's a genius. This dude's
Dude,
a
right there with you. Right there with you.
basketball
And he's
genius."
and he's a likable guy. He's a
Yes,
likable guy, which makes it even better, you know?
that's our
Like
goal
they
this
the
year.
kids want to yeah, the kids want to play for him. They want to do anything they can to win for him, which is awesome. And
Yep.
what I liked about it last year, he brought together a team of misfits, basically, of last day of the transfer portal team. They
Yep.
bought into his system, bought into what he was selling as a first year coach. They made some deep runs, and they did something that not a lot of teams have done with their 8 victories against top. What was it? 8 victories against top 15 or top 10
Yeah.
teams, something like that, which is unheard of, especially with the ragtag team that they put together. So now you give him a second year with a couple guys coming back and with the transfer portal. Good about it, man. Especially, I love the fact that JQ is going to be there because he should have been there from the get,
Yes.
right? He should have been there from the
Yes.
get. And now he's coming home. He's a Kentucky boy coming home. Like it's meant to be, man. It's just something special is brewing, and I think it leads with him. It really does.
I agree 100%. I think we've talked about it before. When Cal left and JQ left, that was literally one of the only players that I was like, Knox wasn't really high up. Richmond, I think he acted like a punk for most of the year at Arkansas. Didn't like him. He wouldn't have fit in at Kentucky. Wagner,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Those, okay, cool. JQ was the one that I was most excited about. I was like, oh my God, we got to bring him back. And then when he went to Arizona State, I said, okay, that sucks, you know. And then he came back, and I think, like you said, it all starts with him. It has to start with him. I think it starts with the
Yep.
bigs, honestly. Once the bigs play, I think everybody around is gonna just, yeah, I don't know if you saw, not to change subjects off of JQ, but it made me think. I saw it today. It was a practice video from yesterday of Colin Chandler. I don't know if you saw that.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, I did.
Posterized. I don't even know how to say his name, so I'm gonna call him AJ.
Yes.
I'm gonna go AJ. And wow, I think Chandler's gonna have a. I could go on and on. I
He's a
think
bucket,
each
man. He's a
player,
bucket.
yeah, I think each player is about to just bloom to their full potential and just, like you said, something special. Something special is happening, and oh, I can't wait. I can't
Yeah.
wait.
I love it, man. So I'm a nerd when it comes to March Madness. Big March Madness guy, as we've talked about previous podcasts, and you and I have talked numerous times. And I looked at bracketology already, and it has them as a 3 seed, right? So, which I think there's room to improve there. But the three
Yeah,
seed, it has them in the East with Purdue and BYU, which you talk about murderers row, man. That would be a tough bracket, but a
yeah.
hell of a game to watch them play BYU or Purdue.
And then what? We play Purdue in what? 3 weeks? 4 weeks? 3 weeks?
Yeah,
Something like that.
yep,
When we play Tennessee, and
yeah.
honestly, I'm trying to get that weekend off because I just want to go to Lexington. I'm not getting tickets to the game because I looked at tickets for the UK Purdue, and it's like $400 in nosebleed. But to be in
Oh yeah.
Lexington for the first official non-official basketball game of the year, and then the next day we play Tennessee in football,
That's
electric.
crazy. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I mean, it's just the atmosphere has to be
Oh my
through the
God.
roof for that.
Yeah, you'll come down for a game. It's got to happen this year. Oh my God, we'll figure out a good game. And man, oh, once you
So
get,
it's funny you say that. I was looking, right? So December 2nd, obviously tickets are going to be way too expensive for this, but December 2nd they play North Carolina at home. That would be probably too hard to get tickets for, just given the historic value of that. But
you never know.
you
You
never
never
know.
know.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know. I
I
would.
also saw. I thought it was funny that they play Florida at Florida on Valentine's Day, so they get to ruin Valentine's Day for the Gators at Florida. So that's gonna be very fun for me.
With their ex point guard.
Yeah, exactly,
With an
exactly.
X.
I thought
We're
that
gonna come in with an X. I can't.
you can't
I
make
can't
it up,
wait.
man. You can't make
No.
it up.
Everything, every little detail of the season so far is just, I feel like it's out of a book almost, like a movie script, and it's just one of those land of misfit toys coming together and just explode. And I mean, I really do. I feel something. I mean, I am pretty, that annoying Kentucky fan. It's like one of them Cowboys fans. It's our year. But I really do feel like it's our year this year. I really do. I do.
I don't disagree, man. Like they play Louisville, right? Or Loserville on 11/11, right? So,
Yep.
I've kids, you have kids. I mean, when the clock strikes 11/11, they say make a wish, right? So Loserville's going to be trying to make a wish to beat Kentucky. Then they
Nice.
play North Carolina at home. Then they have a neutral site game the week before Christmas against Patino and St. John's. I mean, everything is shaping up to be one hell of a movie cinema type
Yes.
year for this. It's
Yes,
awesome. It's
it's
awesome, and I'm here for it.
I am, and I think Pope deserves it, even though he's only been here 1 year. Just his character this past year, the dude is just he's a God fearing man.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, honestly, like that's the only thing you can explain about him. Like the dude is just good. He is just good. He's not a
Listen, man, in 2012, we had our catch slogan was bow to the brow, right? So I think this year it's in Pope we trust.
in
In
Pope we
Pope we
trust.
trust.
I think I
That's it.
should get
And
that
we got to trust
tattooed.
the Pope on this.
And maybe I should
Yeah,
get
right
that
there.
tattooed. Hey, that
That'd be
could be our
awesome.
goal. That could be our goal, not the tattoo, to get Pope on
Yeah.
here. To get Pope on here before the end of the season or before the season starts. I've wrote him. I've never got nothing
Yeah.
back.
That would be
But, I've
maybe
talked
maybe
to
we send him a couple clips.
right? Pope, look, the biggest Kentucky fans you ever meet in your life. You will get praised when you come on here. Not in a weird way, but we
No,
are
not in a
thankful
weird way.
for
Not at
yeah,
all.
no, I'm just kidding.
Look,
No.
man, I'm wearing the number 8. I'm wearing the 8 championship shirt. I'd love to get a number 9 one. So
Yep.
Pope, bring it home for us, brother. I'd love to get a
Please.
number 9 one. That's what we're looking for.
The assignment. The assignment. You can come on and talk about the assignment. Make our
That's it.
life.
That's it. Everybody's focused this year. Everybody knows that they're and look, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm not one of those people that believes in that type of thing. But the preseason early rankings has them at number 9. They're going for national championship number 9.
Ooh.
Just saying. Just saying. It's meant to be. It's meant to be. Right? I'm not saying I'm a conspiracy theorist, but it's shaping up. That's all I'm going to
I
say
like
about it.
it. I didn't even think about that, dude. That is top tier. That is it right there. That is it. There it is.
That's it. That's it.
Number
In Pope we trust.
in Pope we trust. Preseason 9 to get 9. There it is. It's
There you
happening.
go.
It
There you
is
go. I
happening.
love it. I love it.
Oh God. I swear to God, yeah. I'm probably gonna tweet that out on our thing.
You
Preseason
should.
9 to get
You
number
should.
9.
And
That's it. And then
look, man.
hashtag
And I honestly, I think that's. I was just getting ready to say hashtag whatever you want. Hashtag in trust. In Pope we trust. Hashtag bring it home for Big Blue. Whatever we want to do, man.
this is it.
Love it.
We got this. We got this. It's happening. And we're having a historically shitty year in football. So why not, Pope, bring our hopes back up? Because we're gonna have to recover some of this
There you go.
NIL money and our buyout of Stoops.
And
So
the buyout. Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
win the ship and then come back. So let's get him out of here. John
Love it. And
Summerall.
that's the beauty of it, man. Looking at that schedule, they have so many nationally televised games that they'll be bringing in the revenue from basketball that'll cover that $40 million buyout. So
Yep.
Stoops, listen, man, we loved you for a few years. You're a likable guy. You've grown stale though, so you're not Pope. You're not Pope. You're not Pope. That's all there is to
Yeah, we gotta go. We gotta go. Stoops.
it.
We gotta go. We gotta bring in fresh blood. Fresh blood.
There it is. There it is.
Sorry, not sorry. Hashtag sorry, not sorry.
I think that's the perfect way to end it tonight, brother.
I think so. There it is. What do we
This has been the State of Kentucky report. We hope you enjoyed all the fun banter and our hatred of Loserville.
Yep.
Just throwing that out there. And look, Stoops, you're not on Loserville level yet, but you're getting pretty close, brother. You're getting pretty
Yeah.
close.
I mean, at this point, you're almost like Vince Morrow. If you don't leave now, while you're still somewhat above water, you're gonna be hated like Vince Morrow because we think you're just dragging us down. Just leave. Take your winnings
It's
and
true.
go.
It's true. I mean, look, you're heading into Billy Gillespie territory right now. That's
Yes.
where you're heading.
Yep.
And for those that don't know Billy Gillespie, Google him. You'll know what I mean.
Or Joker Phillips.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
That's another good name thrown out there.
That was a rough one. But
Sounds
tune in
good.
next week. Tune in next week. It won't be such a delay.
Tune in.